Now, Ange Postecoglou is still sweating on his Spurs future.
And now the end is near.
I don't usually win things, I always win things in my second year.
I want to apologise to Ange.
Mate, I'm a winner. I've been a serial winner my whole career. It's what I've done more than anything else.
My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain.
I'm not a clown. I never will be, mate.
It's my way, mate. That's what we do.
I really feel like we're building something.
I traveled each and every highway.
What a trophy does is hopefully accelerates that.
Spurs lead through Brennan Johnson.
I did it my way.
Spurs have won a trophy.
Regrets, I've had a few.
You know, I understand the disappointment we've put them through this year, particularly in the league.
Tottenham end the season 17th in the Premier League. Thank goodness for the Europa League.
Vicario takes it. It's glory, glory, Tottenham Hotspur.
My favourite Australian Prime Minister, Paul Keating, said after an unlikely victory, he said this is one for the true believers.
Their first major trophy for 17 years.
This is an expensive decision for Daniel Levy. He got a big bonus, Postecoglou, for winning the Europa League. He'll obviously get a big payoff should he depart.
And he hasn't let them down.
Going on holidays because with my beautiful family because I deserve it, and que sera, sera.
I did it.
Yeah, a big Ange still on holiday at the moment, and apparently still in the dark over his Spurs future.
Incredible,
Daniel Levy's he's been reported to be sounding out replacements. But is the silence from Daniel Levy, should the silence from Daniel Levy be concerning for Postecoglou?
100%. He should have been told the day afterwards, okay, go enjoy your holiday now, let's start recruitment. You've seen Eddie Howe, other managers have already started straight away. Even if you're in a Europa League, a massive trophy, you're like the next day, okay then, what are we going to do for next season? We're in the Champions League, we need to bring better quality players in, we need to get rid of players. What are they waiting for? Tell him. If he's not going to have the job, bring a manager in now so that they haven't got a delay on bringing players in. You can miss out on players. What's the wait?
Well, and again, I suppose the issue is now, and he's won a trophy, so he has delivered that second season trophy. We know that. The issue now is, you know, if you entrust him with the transfer policy during the course of the summer, and then 3 or 4 games into the next season, it hasn't gone well.
New manager comes in, not my players.
Yeah.
You got that problem again.
Circus starts all over again, doesn't it?
So you either got to back him now and say, listen, you're my man. It's got to be better next season, a lot better. 22 league games is a disgraceful amount of Premier League games to lose. And you've got to back him then. You can't be getting rid of him after 5-6 games. You've got to keep with him.
What's your gut feeling?
My gut feeling is, like you says, he's not mentioned anything yet about him keeping his job. That speaks volumes for me. I think they will make a change and new manager will come in. Thomas Frank or Marco Silva are options they're looking at. So I don't think he stays, mate.
Okay. Obviously, for your lot, for Villa, disappointment on the final day, missing out on Champions League football. Does that change Villa's transfer plans significantly, do you think, this
I
summer?
think it does. I think certain players want to play Champions League football, so maybe you can't attract them sort of players that want that. And Marcus Rashford's already said that he wants Champions League football. And also, budget-wise, because you're missing out on the money of the Champions League, you've got to sell maybe more players that you would have liked to. So, and Aston Villa have got positions where they need to fill. Asensio's gone back. We don't know if that's been made permanent. There's been talk about maybe 12 million for him. That one needs to get sorted. You've got to replace Marcus Rashford. You've got one striker, Ollie Watkins. So you need to go out and get a top striker who can play alongside or instead of Watkins at times in the season. You need another right back, I feel, for me. I do like Matty Cash, but a right back with more pace, with more speed down that right-hand flank. Leon Bailey, talk of him leaving. Yeah. So you need a left-footed winger as well to come in and fill that role as well. So probably another centre-half as well. They've got Konsa, they've got Mings, they've got Torres. Probably need one more there as well. So they've got positions they need to fill. But the PSR problems Aston Villa have got, some players are going to have to be sold. And it's hard for me to say, Jeff, as a Villa fan, which players I think will be sold.
Well, I'll tell you one straight away.
Yeah.
And because he's a homegrown player,
don't say
Jacob Ramsey.
Oh, yeah.
And I know they don't want to sell him. I know they don't want to sell him.
Profit, isn't it?
Yeah.
What would you say his fee would be, Jacob Ramsey?
I don't know. I don't see nothing, but he's still a young man.
Oh, of course, but it's going to be one hell of an offer to accept that. Let's talk about Martinez might be leaving. Maybe let's talk about Atletico Madrid. Could be an option, all Saudi for him. But I'm sure like last season, Jeff, when Villa were in this position, they sacrificed Douglas Luiz and Tielemans showed up, got player of the season. So I'm sure they'll be having the talks behind the scenes now, even before the season finished, of two different scenarios, Europa League or Champions League, and what players they can bring in. But it's a dreaded time as a football fan, isn't it? You're like, we want to keep our players. We want to add players and build. These PSR rules are so frustrating for clubs like Villa, Newcastle, where they have to sell most seasons.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, they lost Duran last season.
Diaby went
as well, yeah.
They've sold so many players,
but they have recruited, by and large, really well.
Oh, of course. But it's just frustrating when you're selling Duran, you're selling Diaby, you're selling Douglas Luiz, and then 12 months later, you've got the same problem. You have to sell again. Probably 2 or 3 of your star players you might have to sell to generate that money, and then you can go again and spend. So it's a frustrating time for definitely the sporting directors at Aston Villa.
Difficult time, and I know we've touched on it earlier in the show, but it was much earlier. You don't think Marcus Rashford will be at Villa next season?
No, I don't. The main reason why I don't think he should come is you're going to upset the changing room. If you're Morgan Rogers, you're Watkins, you're Konsa, Martinez, Rashford's coming in on £300,000 a week. Okay, then, well, I want £300,000 a week. That's what happens in changing rooms. The 40 million is not the problem, it's the wages. And Aston Villa's wage bill is massive. I think it might be over 90% of their revenue, their wage bill. So you can't really be going above maybe 200,000 a week that they pay to go and give someone over 300.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.